Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Marking Go Around Free. My name is Alicia. Today we're doing a Lost and Found themed music video. No, we're doing a Lost and Found themed video and in the same style that I have been doing how I've been ranking the auditions on the next step. Someone suggested that I rank the Lost and Found auditions, so that is what I'm going to be doing today. So when it came to ranking the next step auditions that I've done from season 1 to 7, I'm a lot more comfortable doing that because I'm a dance teacher, I have a dance degree, first class, I'm a dancer, so I'm familiar with dance and I know what I personally like in dance. When it comes to Lost and Found, it's obviously a music program, and I can't sing. I teach 3-year-olds how to sing, but that's very different to like teaching professional singers and knowing what makes a good singer, I suppose. So the way that I'm going to be ranking these is based as a viewer, what I think they would be looking for at Lost and Found out of the auditionees. So I don't really have much experience or expertise or insight, but what I do know is what sounds good and what I think would work in an audition overall, because I've done auditions and I've seen auditions. So yeah, I'm gonna give it my best shot, but like I'm less knowledgeable on the Lost and Found side of things than I am the next step. So there were 6 spots available in total and the auditions took place over 2 days. There was 2 different songs that the auditionees were told to learn, and then depending on whatever group they were in, that's the song that they performed. So one song for one group, one song for another group. There were a few issues I found with the auditions, to be honest, but I'll get into them as we go along. But bottom place for the auditions, we have Annabelle's first audition that she does, because she does 2. So Annabelle's first audition, I mean, it's quite obvious why it's at the bottom, because she didn't learn the correct song. So when it came to her time, when it was her turn to step up and perform, she didn't know the words. She asked for the lyrics, which isn't very professional. She stumbled over the words and then she ran out halfway through and gave up. It wasn't great. But now we come to the issues. Annabelle said she learnt the wrong song. There's only 2 songs that they would have been given to learn. So why didn't she just come back the next day and audition in the second group? I didn't really get it. Because, and if we go off the point like, oh, they probably had a list of everybody and if she didn't turn up to audition, she would have just been slashed off. They clearly didn't know who was auditioning, because after every single person performed, Luke would stand up and say, do we have any more auditionees?
Who's up first? All right, who'd like to go next? Is there anyone left?
Like, do you not have a list? Do you not know who's there? Is it just random people attend? Because if so, Annabelle literally could have just gone home, come back the next day and rehearse with the other group with the song that she's learnt. Or if she didn't want to do that, she could have just gone up on stage on the day she was there and said, look, I've accidentally learnt the wrong song. I've learnt the song for the other group. Would it be okay if I sang that? And if they said no, then you know what, give it your best shot and then you can run off the stage, whatever, like you did. But if they said, do you know what? Yeah, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but it has to be perfect if you're going to be doing the wrong song in the audition, then she can just blast it out and do a really good job of it. It also would have just given her a reason as to why she was bad, rather than just letting them think that she's just unprepared and just didn't bother to learn it. If she'd said, sorry, I've learnt the wrong song, then messed up, it would have made a lot more sense and it would have just been better for her.
You waiting for... The time is ours.
Above Annabelle, I then have the singer in the blue shirt. I don't think the song suited their voice, in my opinion, and they were encouraged to make the songs their own. So I think he could have definitely changed the tempo of the song to fit him a lot better, but it just really didn't sit right with me. I was just like, no, next. Thank you, next. It sounded very forced and artificial to me. I didn't really feel a lot of heart or warmth or personality from it. It just seemed like it was ill-fitting. He did slightly change it, actually, now I think of it, but just not enough.
The time is ours now. Is our time. The time is ours now.
Above the singer in the blue shirt, we then have either Julie or Julia. I'm not sure what they say. We didn't really hear much of Julie or Julia, but I don't think her voice was very strong. It just went under the radar for me and it would have been another thank you next situation. But I think that her voice suited the song more than the singer in the blue shirt, which is why they're slightly above them. We then have Maggie. quite low. Maggie's not one of my favourite characters at all, but I've done this very objectively. So Maggie played the piano along with the song, so she did make it her own, which is very, very good. She took it in her own direction, but I don't think the song suited her voice once again, and I think she could have switched out some of the lyrics to make it something more, which... yeah, I just think she could have done that, definitely. It also seemed quite empty when I was listening. Like, it just sounded like she was singing the words and she didn't really have much heart in it. She didn't relate it back to her or anything. So it was another thank you next situation. But I think she showed more potential than those beneath her. I think ultimately Maggie just sounded like she was doing the best with what she was given, rather than going into the audition thinking, I'm going to kill this. I love the song. Even if she had to fake it to love it. Like, I love the song. I'm going to make it my own and stuff like that. It just seemed quite empty. Okay, and then we have Jamie, who had a guitar when he was singing. I think his voice suited the guitar pretty well, and I like how he changed that, so that's why he's above Maggie. It sounded a lot more fitting. His voice was quite different as well, and I kind of liked that. I liked that he showed a little bit of personality and something unique. But something he didn't show was drive and passion. I just saw him strumming the guitar and singing. I didn't really see him thinking, I really want this spot at Lost and Found Music Studios. I want to be everybody here. He was just singing for me.
Everybody tries to put me in a box, tell me to be different, to be something I'm not.
Then above Jamie, I have Brittany. So Brittany has a good voice. I think she did a solid performance with lots of confidence, and she emoted while singing, but it was pretty generic and it wasn't anything special for me. I also think that Brittany sounded like she was already fully developed, like she was just singing a song. It didn't really show me, this girl could develop more. We could do a lot more with her. She's showing me why she should come here. She's showing me like drive and energy. There's just something missing for me with Brittany. I think obviously it's good if you are so good in an audition that they think we can't do anything more with you, you're perfect. But I think there's always room for improvement with somebody. So even if she'd really challenged herself to go for a higher note or something, if she didn't quite hit it, but it was nearly there, that for me would be, yeah, we'll take her because we can mould her and we can work with her more. It just seemed a bit safe. I think that's the general thing I'm going for. A lot of people played it safe.
The time is ours. Now is our time.
Above Brittany, I then have Clara, and I really think that they should have had a scene between Isaac going up on the stage and Luke saying, are there any more people? Because literally there's only 2 auditionees apparently, just Clara and Isaac. So they should have had Isaac performing, then cut to another scene like in Java Junction or whatever, then come back and made it seem like people had gone up in that time before Luke said, is there anyone else? And Clara reluctantly puts her hand up. Yeah, it just seemed a little bit like, is anyone auditioning? Does anyone have any kind of structure to this thing? Ultimately, I think Clara was boring and forgettable until Isaac started hyping her up. So if he hadn't done that, she probably would have been just above Annabelle for me. I think Clara has a very unique sounding voice and she showed potential, which is good. Like I just talked about for Brittany, I feel like she showed that there's more to be done with her. She showed that she would really benefit from the programme. And also I think she showed personality with how her voice is unique. She showed that she's quite shy and timid. She was very true to herself. She didn't put on a front or anything. So overall, I think it was a good audition. And also she sang solid, like her vocals were great. But she gave more than those beneath her for me.
I'm a strike of lightning and I won't strike twice. Crashing through the walls like a cannonball. Just watch me rock it my way.
One above Clara, we then have Isaac. So Isaac was super confident, but personally, I think it came off as arrogant and I didn't like it. Luke said, who wants to go first? And Isaac was like, I'm going first. He could have just put his hand up, like, just be polite and respectful. Then when he stood up on the stage, he was like, you should ask me my name. Just say, my name's Isaac. That would show enough confidence, like the same amount of confidence as asking for someone to ask you your name. It just came across as rude to me. And honestly, if I was choosing who the auditionee should be, however good your singing voice was, that would really turn me off. And I'd be like, no, like, we don't want that. If you're going to act like that after every performance, no, you're not for us. And then when he did start singing, he had a really dead stare. So I was kind of like, okay, you kind of hyped us up for nothing. But then he did kick into this like energy, and he had great stage presence. He went out into the audience more. It was really good, and he also had audience interaction. So he had a killer audition. It was great. It was just the rudeness for me that would have knocked him down a few pegs, and I would have ultimately chose other people over him because of that. So I don't know if it worked in his favour. I mean, it clearly did because he got in canon in the show. But if I was choosing, I wouldn't have picked him, I don't think. Or it would have been a maybe for me. Above Isaac, we then have Mary in third place. I think Mary should have definitely taken the risk, because ultimately what she wanted to do was make the song her own. But then she saw that Mr. T reacted badly to somebody not following the rules. So she was like, oh, it might actually not pay off for me. I feel like Isaac should have probably thought that through as well. Like, maybe I shouldn't go in arrogant because they might not take this well. But Mary played it safe, so that's why she's not top for me. Yeah, actually, now I think of it, she went straight after somebody who didn't use the backing track and made it their own, because she was going to play it on the piano and make it her own, I'm pretty sure. Like, she already saw that they didn't react badly to that, so maybe, yeah, there's just a few structuring things that maybe didn't make sense in the Lost and Found universe, but ultimately she chose to play it safe. She was really charismatic, and she added a lot of performance, personality and stage presence to her performance, which was good. Same as I said for Isaac. It showed that she had a passion and she could really be worked on. She had potential. She loved, obviously, what she was doing. She made the song her own as well. Like, the song wasn't a Mary song, I'd say, but she made it a Mary song, even if she didn't push it to the complete limit with making it original. First one of my kind, I'm an original. However, the thing that I noticed, and this isn't Mary's fault, it's more the production of the actual show. When Mary was singing, the backing track was so loud that you couldn't really hear Mary's vocals, and then it definitely needed to like even out like the sounds when they were producing it, because she just seemed so quiet compared to everybody else that she seemed drowned out by the music. And I don't think that's a fault of her, because you can tell by her mannerisms and the way she's singing that she's singing loud. She's not singing really quiet and the music's overpowering her. I think it's literally when they came to editing the show, they just had it wrong on the equalizer side. So that's a downside, but it's of the production, not of Mary. So second place, we then have Annabelle's second audition that she does. So she literally turned it all around and came back to second place from bottom. Now, this is another issue. So on the first day that Annabelle auditioned, she learnt the wrong song. And the song that they were meant to be singing on the first day was Now Is Our Time. Yeah, Now Is Our Time. That's the song they were meant to be singing the first day, but Annabelle learnt something else. So that's why she freaked out. On the second day, she sang Now Is Our Time. Like, she didn't even sing original on the day that she was meant to sing original. So what song did she actually learn if she got it so wrong? Because if she'd learned original for the day she was meant to be learning Now Is Our Time, why didn't she sing original on the day she was meant to sing original instead of singing Now Is Our Time from the first day? Why would she take the time that she spent in going home, like reveling in how embarrassing it was, to learn the song she was meant to be singing instead of perfecting the performance she'd already done? It really confused me. Like, Annabelle, what was going on there, girl? Can you let me know, please? But at least she did sing an audition song. Like, she sang something, at least. It was just the wrong song again. So I don't really get what she was going for there. Her rendition of Now Is Our Time, though, was my favourite out of everybody's. I loved how she slowed it down to make it really suit her voice. She made it super powerful. She really was confident in singing it. I just think it was beautiful. Like, it was so good, and I prefer it to the original, if I'm honest. I think Now Is Our Time, like they say on the show, it's very generic and easy to make your own. That's why they chose it. They didn't choose it because it was an amazing song. I think Annabelle's version of it is a lot stronger and a lot better than the original.
How do I make it last? What am I waiting for? Lord, now it's my time. My heart is like a prisoner of war. I can't give less when I know I want more.
She showed creativity and she clearly has passion if she did want to come back for a second time. So that plays in her favour. The only thing literally that let her down was the fact that she didn't sing the correct song again. But she did a solid performance anyway. First place is someone who really did surprise me, and that's Nate. So Nate didn't have much of a plot on Lost and Found, and he's not my favourite character whatsoever. I think when I ranked the characters, I literally put him in like bye, forgettable. The show could be done without him. But in terms of the auditions, I think he had a super strong one, and I think he was the best. So he changed the tone of the song, just like Annabelle did, to show his own creativity, and I think the song really suited his voice. He did it really nicely.
Let go of all your worries. I'll free you from your past.
I think in terms of favourites, Nate and Annabelle were my favourite renditions of the song, but if I was personally listening to them, like on my phone, I'd listen to Annabelle's over Nate's. No, I don't know. Yeah, Annabelle and Nate the same in terms of whose version I liked better, but Nate is ranked above Annabelle because he did the correct song and Annabelle didn't. He's also got a solid voice, but like Luke says, playing the piano sometimes isn't enough because they have a lot of people that play the piano, but I think he did it so well that it was a strength for him rather than a hindrance. I do think he took more of a risk though, because like even Mary was afraid of playing the piano because she didn't want to break the rules, but Nate was like, yeah, I'm confident in what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the song completely. I'm going to play it confidently. His voice was solid. He showed that he had potential. He didn't slip up. He was nice and confident. There was nothing that rubbed me the wrong way about him. Yeah, like I think it was just super solid. Not one of my favourites in terms of my opinion, but objectively for auditions, I think he was the most solid one there. So yeah, that was me ranking the auditions on Lost and Found, and because there was only the 6 spots available, the people that would have made it through to being the new recruits for Lost and Found would have been Nate, Annabelle, Mary, Isaac, Clara and Brittany. So Maggie wouldn't have made it, even though she does in the show. I'm not a fan of Maggie, so I'm not too fussed about it. But I think there could have been a good plot with Brittany joining the girl band. I think her and Leia would definitely rub each other the wrong way because Leia says that she's not a big fan of Brittany.
Yeah, I don't think Brittany's gonna get in. I don't think she has what it takes.
And then maybe for some reason Brittany can leave the band and someone else drops out or something, so then Maggie can join. I don't really know, but that is the rankings I would have done, and that's who would have made it in my opinion. Let me know if you disagree or you agree, just your general thoughts. Who was your favourite auditionee? What was your favourite song? Was it Now Is Our Time or original? Yeah, I'll see you next week for a new video, guys. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Bye!